local government finance. They don't appreciate that, particularly in the core cities, when it comes to residential taxes which come from council tax, they don't appreciate that we have very, very low valued properties in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Sheffield, in Liverpool. Whereas the further south you go, you do have higher valued properties, and therefore the money that you take from council tax increases. And that's the first problem. The second problem is when I've had meetings in the past with Sir Andrew Stunnell, who was a minister, the Liberal Democrat minister within local government, they come back to me and say, what about your reserves? And it's always an issue. The money that we've got for special events might happen, might not happen. But Birmingham's reserves are of the order of
24 million in terms of the non-allocated reserve.
I've asked some questions specifically for those, but if you take the figures last year, the way that the treatment of grants has increased usable reserves was £97 million for the financial year 12-13. I've asked questions because I need to have them updated. Unfortunately, I haven't had them to date. But if you take the global amount of money that Birmingham had, it was £515 million. Now, the Department for Communities and Local Government don't peel away at the facts behind it. They just see the amount of reserves, and constantly, as Albert will know, when you're negotiating, you always get thrown back at you, but local government has got billions of pounds in reserves, why don't you use it? So we do have a communication problem with the Treasury and with communities and local government in getting the message over.
I think as Paul mentioned about the Treasury and DFOD, it's also an issue around the civil service not really being keen to see any of the budgets beyond local government being devolved out to communities. And I think one of the things that was meant to happen, as the money that was available for local councils was reduced, there was meant to be partly offset by at least having some other budgets and departments being devolved out to communities, and that hasn't happened quick enough. And I think that's the joins with the combined authority debate that we've all been talking about as well, about trying to make sure there's those additional income sources. But it is also a two-way street. When we're looking to lobby government and showing that we need more money, we do also have to show that the money we've got we're using as effectively as possible. And I know that's certainly something that Doncaster did with their children's services when they were trying to get extra money. They were able to sort of jump over the hoops that were set to them. So there's something we need to try and work on and make sure that when the council's putting forward the case, that evidence is passed out to all members, so that all sides can also put forward a coherent argument and make sure that we're all singing from the same hymn sheet.
You know what?